class at the beginning of the period and stood in front of my desk. He said, "I have no idea who you are." It took me a second to realize he wasn't joking. He had had a seizure that morning and was still recovering from memory. Despite this, the student preferred to go to school and follow his daily routine rather than stay at home. He got from class to class during the first half of the day with the help of his friends, whom he could recognize, even though he didn't yet remember their names. At the beginning of the school year, this student had written me a note for his first homework assignment. The note was a response to something encouraging I had said. Something like, "All of you are capable of getting A's in this class, and I hope that all of you will." The student wrote, "I just want you to know that I'll try my best. I'm not smart. I'm not going to be able to get an A in this class." I did everything I could to help him learn and succeed. But he just had one of those lives where everything kept going wrong. About a month after he had the seizure, his mother suddenly passed away. The student was in and out of school for the rest of the year and ended up receiving an incomplete in most of his classes.
Can a teacher force you to stay after class?
Yeah, it's Friday. I'm gonna go home, play Fortnite, drink soda, steal glances at my stepmom while she does yoga.
Class is not over.
That can't be legal. The bell just rang.
Actually, it is. Number one, it's not illegal for a teacher to issue a folder of students even after the bell is rung. Oh, well, if you're going to agree with me, I'm glad you're here. Back to listing every single human body part. Arm, 2, chin, butt. Yes, butt. Very good. No.
Look good, feel good. Everybody wishing that they could. But let me show you why I'm up next.
Afraid not to school to punish the student for leaving. Well, in that case, Billy, you have detention. Number 3, abuse laws protect a student's right to leave to use a bathroom, eat lunch, or receive a scheduled ride home. Hey, kid, I'm a bus. Bus wait around or either get in or walk home. Since your detention is interfering with his right to a ride home, Billy's parents have a strong case to get the school board involved. Oh, fine. Class dismissed. Oh, sweet. See how important I teach? You play Fortnite with your students? I don't have a lot of friends. Can it... What happens when the Simpsons travel to Japan? The episode starts with Steve and savings worth $12 million. For a family vacation. And the money the Simpsons
The Simpsons explore the city, but foolish as ever, Homer and Bart hit a sumo wrestler and even attack the Emperor himself, earning them a day in jail. Unconsciously, they experience more of Japan while in prison, something Lisa's wanted ever since they landed. Lisa feels sad, so Homer makes her an origami crane from their last 1 million yen, but the wind suddenly blows it away. Without the money to return home, the Simpsons join a Japanese game show called The World of Hitting, Electric Shocks, and Volcano Climbing. Lisa successfully grabs their plane tickets on a bridge over boiling lava, but the show host makes the challenge more difficult.
At least we'll die doing what we love, inhaling molten rock.
The bridge snaps and the Simpsons drop. Thankfully, it's not real lava and still the tickets. They're about to go home, but Godzilla seizes the airplane like it usually would on any normal day. So now you know. What happened?
My dance and these $1,000 pants. Don't disrespect me and my pants. A whole lot of chops on you. Slam, just putting dollars on your head. Gas mama to the feds. Brother Sonic got the dress. DT Sonic keep the bands. On the sun, my dance and these $1,000 pants.
What? It turns out that my voice can't echo in the phone. What is good? Hey man, what's up? Thanks man, you too. My voice is an echo.
Sort. Let me explain. When David Copeland won $1 million, he decided to spend it on some prime real estate. But the local housing market wasn't looking too good, so he started looking into. He put real money down on land on the moon, Mars, and Venus. Only problem is, no country legally owns the moon and other planets because of the 1962 space treaty. Sorry, buddy. Maybe a simple Google search could save you from getting scammed. Number 2, the royal flush. Gambling never hurt anybody, right? In fact, everyone seems to love to gamble so much. He made bets, went to casinos, and won the lottery twice. Wow, won the lottery twice? Where does the luckiest person on earth go next? Vegas, baby, where she allegedly spent $6 million at the poker table. And number 1, backyard racetrack. Michael Carroll did what any sensible 19-year-old would do after winning $18 million. Built a fully functioning racetrack in his backyard. Duh. His neighbors hated him because the loud construction lasted for months. Unfortunately, Michael blew the rest of his money partying. So now he's just a guy with a cool backyard. Sort. Let me explain. When David Copeland won $1 million, he decided to spend it on some prime real estate. But the local housing market wasn't looking too good, so he started looking into. He put real money down on land on the moon, Mars, and Venus. The only problem is, no country legally owns the moon and other planets because of the 1962 space treaty. Sorry, buddy. Maybe a simple.
How is your day? Oh, stressful. See how loose my tie is? For the first time, I actually have to do my job. I got this weird new feeling in my stomach.
Isn't it fun for it? Smoke this.
I have a lot of funny words for not so funny things.
Hey, Homer, Carl and I are going to see if we can sneak out of the men's room without setting off the automatic toilets.
I don't have time for childish games. If I don't do my job, atoms go boom. It's called a double standard. One of the bedrocks of parenting.
I'm working so hard lately. Maybe you should take a break.
No, Marge. If I lose my job in this economy, it's a death sentence. My kid doesn't fall back. I interrupt films like Angelina Jolie. How many properties do we have an option on? What? When were you going to tell me?
How was your day?
Oh, stressful. You see how loose my tie is? For the first time, I actually have to do my job. Oh, I got this weird new feeling in my stomach.
Isn't it just fun for it? Smoke this.
I have a lot of funny words.
Has your class ever made the teacher cry? In middle school science, I had a teacher who was always so kind. She was an older woman, and she always made sure we had materials for her class, often at her own expense. I remember she went out and bought about 20 plastic pencil cases, filling them with pencils, rulers, erasers, everything we would need for the class. One day, some of the kids decided to throw a few of the pencil cases across the room, snapping some of the rulers, and generally breaking a lot of the things she had provided while she stepped out for 5 minutes to talk to another teacher. When she came back, she started crying, and I remember feeling so bad for her. She gave the class little pieces of candy afterward, apologizing for losing control and getting emotional. We were the ones who should have been apologizing. One morning, my class noticed that I wasn't myself, and one student asked me during recess if I was okay. Normally, I wouldn't share personal information. I told my student that my grandma had passed away that morning. At the end of the day, before I dismissed the class, my students gathered and handed me a sympathy card with really sweet condolence messages from every student. I couldn't hold it in and started crying. Has your class ever made the teacher cry? In middle...
Ex-prisoners, what's the worst thing you saw in jail? On my first day in jail, we were told never to joke about taking our own lives, much like not saying bomb on a plane. By day 3, I noticed a kid in our group who seemed mentally underdeveloped, acting like a 12-year-old. He never stopped talking or moving, rubbing everyone the wrong way. Despite my warnings to lay low, a week in, he lost it in the shower. He started singing, joking, and then pooped on the floor as a prank, kicking it everywhere. When the trustees cleaned up, he laughed from his cell, making everyone miss their showers. The next day, people were visibly cold and mean to him. He became sad, and after mentioning to the COs that he should just end it all, they brought out the blue burrito, 10-foot foam mat. This was the protocol of the jail. No counseling, no medical ward. They wrapped him in it, immobilizing him, and left him in his cell from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. I heard him weeping all night. After that, he never spoke or made ex-prisoners.
What is the most surprising thing you have accidentally overheard about yourself? My grandfather always preferred my brother. It wasn't something he even tried to hide. My brother resembled our dad, who sadly passed away, so I could understand why they were so close. Growing up, I watched as my brother received all the love, attention, and financial support from someone who barely acknowledged me. I tried to connect with my grandfather for a while, but I eventually accepted that our relationship would remain distant. It hurt, but over time, I learned how to live with it. As we grew older, my grandfather and brother's relationship became somewhat codependent. My grandfather paid his bills, bought him cars.
Wait a minute. This is the biggest steak you got? I thought this was supposed to be a steakhouse, not a little girly, underpanty place.
Well, there is one steak that's only available by special request. It's the size of a boogie board.
Well, have that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brave man has accepted the Sirloin-a-Lot challenge. Only 2 people have ever finished the whole thing.
I wouldn't tackle the big one right away.
It's you! You're him! You're Tony Randolph!
Red Barkley's my name.
The longest dear march. And
So much steak.
the winner, still champion, Red Barkley.
It's after you, Red. Hey, you're not breathing. Wait a minute. Is this the biggest steak you got? I thought this was supposed to be a steakhouse, not a little girly, underpanty place.
Well, there is one steak that's only available by special request. It's the size of a boogie board.
Well, have that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brave man has accepted the Sirloin-a-Lot challenge. Only 2 people have ever finished the whole thing.
If you throw a party while your parents are away, can you get arrested? That depends on whether you're breaking these specific rules. Police, open the door right now. What's going on, man? We got a call about a group of kids having a get-together. How old are you? What's happening here? I'm 16 and we're saving it for the judge, kid. I'm taking you in for underage drinking. Holy copper, in the USA, a minor can have a small get-together if there's no underage drinking. Yeah, that isn't even alcohol, my man. Wait a minute, are those two kids fighting? Fighting at a party could give me the right to arrest those kids. We're not fighting, we're just practicing for our wrestling tournament next weekend. Since there's no fighting, plus no other laws being broken, the policeman can't arrest anyone at this party. That's rule 2. Not so fast. I need to check how loud your music is. This device says your music is 40 decibels loud. Well, in most cities, you must keep noise levels below 50 decibels between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. Since it's only 40 decibels, I guess you got nothing on. So let's dance. If you throw a party while you're...
That boy has no respect for my authority.
Maybe you two are more similar than you'd like to admit.
We're not similar. I love being told what to do by someone who's wise in the ways of the world.
Here's what I do. In the middle of the night, clean Bart's room for you. Then in the evening, thank him for cleaning his room.
You fool. I've been dealing with Bart and turn your mind to ketchup water. You rest. I'll be the boy's father now.
I'm not feeling it.
Your mother said eat your broccoli.
Why do I need to eat broccoli?
So that you can grow up healthy and strong.
Look, I'll drink another glass of milk.
No, broccoli. You eat it Sunday. You are not leaving this table until you eat that broccoli, and I'm going to sit right here until you do.
You'll never outsit me.
Oh, really? You think your skinny butt can sit on that hard wooden chair longer than El Gordo? That boy has no respect for my authority.
Maybe you two are more similar than you'd like to admit.
We're not similar. I love being told what to do by someone who's wise in the way...
It's my ball. Damn it, Brian, that came to me. That's my ball. Holy crap. Yeah, there's a weird ball guy in front of our house. Oh, that's just quagmire. Too fast. Our children should not have to live in fear.
Is there an age restriction for the sleight of hand magic show this afternoon?
12.
Now, we all saw you put your card back in the deck, so how did it end up in your shirt pocket?
No, there's Quag. He's been so weird lately. You notice now that he's bald, whenever he thinks about something, he scratches his wrist. Beer?
I don't think so. I was planning on looking at pictures of birds later, and I don't want to be all fuzzy-headed for that.
Come on, Quagmire, get your hands transplanted. Come back to us. Glenn Quagmire? Your name sounds familiar. Oh, yeah, I treated you for butt cancer. You want to keep it down? Easy now. That's my privilege as a doctor to talk about that stuff. I now declare this hair transplant officially open. It's my ball. Damn it, Brian. Give it to me. That's my ball. Holy crap. Dad, there's a weird ball guy up front of our house. Oh, that's just Quagmire. 3 banned items found by airport security. First are ninja climbing claws. All right, let's take a look. Are these ninja climbing claws? Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, cool.
You can't take these on. You gotta go back and check.
Okay, I'll take the shortcut. Next, a passenger was stopped by TSA for carrying a cannonball.
Is this an old bowling ball with no holes?
No. My friends and I are Civil War reenactors. I told them I'd bring a real cannonball.
Sorry. A historical weapon is still considered a weapon, and it's not allowed on flights.
Next is the craziest item of them all that a passenger tried to bring on a Miami flight.
This is bag of eels.
Eels, plus hundreds of tropical fish. I thought fish were perfectly fine to bring on board.
Usually, but wild fish, there's like 100.
3 banned items found by airport security. Hi, Mom. There's a new policy at work where everyone has to prove they're an American.
You were born in Mexico.
What?
When I found out that your real father was a drunken Irishman, I went to Mexico to terminate my pregnancy. But God had other plans, and you were born right there.
computer with knowledge to a citizenship test.
So far, you failed everything, including the behaving like an American at the airport test.
I'm gonna get a big fat piece of pizza so I got something to stuff in my face while I'm reading USA Today.
The only thing remaining is the oral test. Question number 1. Who discovered America? Dick York?
Dick Sargent.
It was Dick Sargent. Question number 2. Complete this sentence. The land of the free and the home of the blank.
Home of the Whopper?
You've got to be kidding me. Mr. Griffin, if you were truly an American, you would know our national anthem.
He is too American. We've been married for almost 20 years.
Mr. Griffin, what is your wife's birthday?
Give me another one. Give me another one.
Where is your wife's hometown?